Hi, welcome back to One Finance. And in this video, we're going to cover Tesla Motors, fundamental and technical analysis. So we have our usual disclaimer and our discussion points. We have fundamental. Second, we have the technical aspect. Third, we have the market update. And lastly, we have the outlook. So for the fundamental analysis, we're looking at some figures here of the company as of January 6, 2023. Tesla actually closed $113 per share. And then if you're going to look at here the production versus deliveries of the various models, we have for model S and X, production is around 20,000 units and deliveries is around 17. For model 3 and Y, that's around 419. For production and deliveries around 388. Now, if you're going to look at here, the year-on-year growth for the production, it's around 40%. For the deliveries and for the production, it's actually 47% year-on-year. So that's around 1.3 million, respectively. Now, if we jump to some financial ratio, I have here plotted the 5-year average for the sales revenue growth. That's around 50.37%. And for the 5-year average for the net profit margin, that's around 1.19. For the debt equity ratio, that's around 14. Although I check also the interest coverage ratio, that's around, I think that's around 770. So that's pretty high. For the PE ratio, that's 34. And for the ROE, that's around 33. Now, looking at the competition, if you're going to look at here at this table, we have column for the book value per share. We have the fair value computation based on two financial metrics used by Mabuhay Fund. And then we have the current price, and then we have the PE ratio. So we have here Tesla, Ford, GM, NIO, and BMW. So for Tesla, our computation for the fair value is around $110 per share. And if you're going to look at the current price, it's around $113. So it's a bit overvalued if you're going to look at it, maybe around or below 5% overvaluation. But if you're going to look at also the PE ratio, it's around 34. It's among the most expensive among the competition. But again, the valuation for Tesla here, we have different biases. Now, for Mabuhay Fund, we value Tesla not just an automotive or vehicle company, but we're also looking at the company as an AI and renewable or green energy company. So even though the fundamental valuation is a bit expensive compared to the competition, then we are banking on other aspects of the company. So moving on to the technical aspect, we have on the daily chart, if you're going to look at here, we ended up 113 last week. The key resistance here is actually 150 and a key support of 100, so that's very critical. We started deploying funds at around 150, and we're looking at this 100 again for cost averaging point. Although if you're going to look at the pre-COVID, that's around 60. It's still very possible for the stock to revisit 60. But again, for now, the 100 is a very critical support for the stocks. We're looking at that. If that would, if the stock would break through that support, then probably we're seeing near 60 this year. And then for the MACD, it's still moving sideways with downward bias, as well as the RSI moving sideways, although it's already near oversold levels. Now, if you zoom out a bit on the weekly chart, you would still clearly see here that last week you can see that that upward pressure right there on the last week's candle, and then the MACD for the weekly chart, it's still with sideways, and then probably an upward bias because of the RSI moving to the oversold territory already. That's around 27. Okay, so for the market update and news that may significantly affect our outlook, we have some news for the company. Here we have Elon Musk sends a message to disenchanted Tesla shareholders. So again, another negative impact impacting news to the company. But as an investor, I value the company separately to the uh, CEO, president, or the principals, and also to a separate company um, versus, for example, Twitter or SpaceX or whatever. So I only isolate the analysis on the company Tesla alone. And we also have here some goals missed by the company. 1.3 million cars sold last year, but the sales goal were missed. And then we also have downgrade of outlook for the company. Although we have here some positive news for Elon bringing the trial to uh, Texas for fair judgment and to avoid biases. We also have here positive news for the company. Tesla offers discount in Singapore for on EVs in inventory, and then Tesla resumes orders for Model S and X long range in Europe. Another negative side here for Tesla fined by Korean weather range claims. So a mix of news for the company. But again, what's the outlook of Mobuai Fund for Tesla? We have a long position for the company. So we still believe that the company has a potential upside in the near term, although we're holding Tesla for trade purposes only and not for long-term investing. And then we open position near 150 per share, and with cost averaging at identified key support levels. So based on our analysis, it's around 100 per share and 60 per share. So those are the key support levels that are critical for our cost averaging. Now we are also considering the company, not just an automotive company, but an AI company and a green energy company. So that's why if we're going to look at, even though the valuation is quite expensive compared to the competition, we are still looking into some opportunities for Tesla, considering the not just the fundamental but the technical aspects as well. So we are eyeing on the upcoming earnings report. So this is a major mover, not just for Tesla, but for all companies. So we are um, keeping an eye on the numbers. And then monitor the discount factor, particularly the Fed's policy trajectory for this year. Now, if you can recall the impact of the Fed's policy rate to the valuation in terms of the discount factor. So the valuation, the computation of fair value might be a bit lower if we can see the Fed's policy rate going up to 5% or at least 5% for the rest of the year 2023. And then our target price for the company is near 200. So if you're going to look at it, it's sitting at around 113 per share. So roughly at least 40% upside if um, everything will be uh, on our side, and if the Fed may signal easing of um, its hawkish stance, maybe second half of this year. So that's it for Tesla. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you next time.